How's it going? It's Ethan here at eTrailer. Today we're going to be taking a look at and showing you how to install these Glacier snow tire chains with the twist link and cam tighteners on a 2022 Toyota RAV4. These are going to be a sort of in-between style chain for deeper snow and maybe some light ice. They are relatively aggressive, but because of this twist link design, they make for a little bit of a smoother ride compared to, say, a V-bar or a square chain link might have. The links themselves are in a ladder pattern. As you can see, they go straight across the tire, which is going to be really good for starting and stopping. It's not going to give you as much coverage, and it's not going to help as much on turns as a diamond pattern might, but starting and stopping will be better. They're made of a low carbon steel, which might not be the worst case for twist link just because there are a lot of contact points, and as they get cold, they could be prone to getting brittle. So that gives them a little bit more flexibility, but what you sacrifice for that is longevity and resistance to weather and rust and corrosion, things like that you might get better out of a manganese nickel alloy that some other chains offer. In addition, like I mentioned, there are these 4 cam tighteners that come on the chains. That's just basically going to be used to get some tension into the chains and make them secure on your tire. But we do recommend grabbing a rubber tensioner in our case, just because that will keep things together. I would like to say that Toyota themselves recommends that you probably don't use chains on this car, but a lot of people are from states that require you to have chains. So if you're in one of those places, these might be for you. Otherwise, probably don't recommend putting them on this car. If you decide these chains are for you, they will come 2 in a set in this very light canvas bag. It's not my favorite, and it's not the most durable. Definitely prone to getting rips and tears in it. In addition, it won't do a great job of keeping the weather out of the chains if you take it out and you're installing them on the side of the road in the weather. So we recommend grabbing some sort of plastic case or something heavier to keep the chains in and keep the weather out. But the installation of these chains is pretty straightforward. You can check out how we did that now. To begin the install process, the first thing you want to do is lay your chains out flat, making sure nothing is tangled or caught up. Additionally, you want to make sure that these cams are going to be facing you because you'll have to tighten those later. You want to make sure that the chains are facing the right direction by using these biggest links at the end of each set of chains. You want to make sure that this flat part is going to be the part that's going to be making contact with the tire, not these hooks making contact with the tread. But once you do that, center everything up, and we can go ahead and put these chains on our tire. Just drape them over and try to do your best to space things out both front to back and side to side, because that'll just help us when we need to make our first connection on the back side. Making our connection in the back is pretty straightforward. You just fit one of these loose links into this hook on the other side. We'll go for number 2 in our case, but we can always come back and adjust that later if we need to. Once we have our connection in the back taken care of, in the back we did actually have to go back and put it on the loosest link to make this connection, but once we did, all we have to do is put this hook to the loosest link on our case. Now to tighten everything up, we can use this provided lever tool to begin rotating our cams. So just insert it, rotate the cams clockwise. In our case, I don't think we'll have to use all 4, but we'll start with the top 2 here. It's already pretty tight. We might be able to get this third one. Yeah. But once we do that, they're all tightened up. We recommend grabbing one of these rubber tensioners because these chains themselves do not have any self-tensioning, and as you're moving along, things tend to bump. If you're especially traveling on ice and snow, the chains will shift as you're driving, and the tensioner just helps keep everything in place. All you do is put it on basically the same way you would put a tire on or take it off, just trying to follow a star pattern to make sure that everything is evenly distributed. But once you do that, that's pretty much it for the installation process. Make sure that you do the same thing on your passenger side tire as well. Roll forward and backward a couple times just to make sure everything stays secure, and you're ready to go. Overall, these chains might be a good option for you if you want sort of an in-between tire chain. They're not going to give you the longevity that some other chains like Koenig's manganese nickel alloy might, but they'll be fine for once in a while use in some heavier snow conditions and some light ice. And overall, I think they're a pretty easy install and a solid fit on our 2022 Toyota RAV4.